Accusative pronoun, ich sehe ihn. This means I see him. Negative, ich sehe ihn nicht. This means I do not see him. Another example, ich sehe sie. This means I see her. Negative, ich sehe sie nicht. This means I do not see her. And ich nehme den Bus. This means I take the bus. Negative, ich nehme den Bus nicht. This means I do not take the bus. So remember, in many simple sentences, nicht comes near the end when we negate the whole idea. Great! Now let's practice negation with nicht. Listen first, then repeat slowly. Ich komme nicht. I am not coming. Ich arbeite heute nicht. I am not working today. Ich lerne heute nicht. I am not learning today. Das Auto ist nicht teuer. The car is not expensive. Die Wohnung ist nicht klein. The apartment is not small. Das Essen ist nicht gut. The food is not good. Ich bin nicht müde. I am not tired. Wir sind nicht bereit. We are not ready. Ich verstehe das nicht. I do not understand that. Ich brauche das nicht. I do not need that. Ich sehe ihn nicht. I do not see him. Ich nehme den Bus nicht. I do not take the bus. Very good. Now, remember the main idea. Nicht means not. We use nicht to negate verbs, adjectives, and full ideas. For example, ich komme nicht. Da
Hola, ¿cómo vas? La gente, ¿cómo van? Me corté el pelo. Dímelo. Dímelo, God. ¿Cómo estás?
Das Auto ist nicht teuer. Ich verstehe das nicht. This is a very important tool for real German conversation. Next, we will continue with another kind of negation, kein and keine. They help us say not a or no with nouns. So let's continue step by step. Great! Now that we know how to use nicht to make sentences negative, we can learn another very important way to say not or no in German. Today we will learn kein and keine. These words are used when we make nouns negative. For example, in English, we can say, I have a book, and negative, I do not have a book. In German, we often say, ich habe ein Buch. This means I have a book. Negative, ich habe kein Buch. This means I do not have a book, or I have no book. Another example, das ist eine Tasche. This means that is a bag. Negative, das ist keine Tasche. This means that is not a bag. So the idea is simple. Kein works like a negative version of ein, and keine works like a negative version of eine. Today we will learn how to use kein and keine with simple nouns, and we will also learn the difference between nicht and kein. Let's start with the basic forms. We already know ein Mann. This means a man. Negative, kein Mann. This means not a man or no man. Now look at eine Frau. This means a woman. Negative, keine Frau. This means not a woman or no woman. Now look at ein Kind. This means a child. Negative, kein Kind. This means not a child or no child. So remember, masculine, ein Mann, becomes kein Mann. Feminine, ein.
Pero ¿de qué es una canción? Oh, pero estoy viendo un video de alemán. Estoy estudiando.
Frau becomes keine Frau. Neuter, ein Kind, becomes kein Kind. Now let's use simple sentences. Das ist ein Mann. This means that is a man. Negative, das ist kein Mann. This means that is not a man. Das ist eine Tasche. This means that is a bag. Negative, das ist keine Tasche. This means that is not a bag. Das ist ein Buch. This means that is a book. Negative.
Vale. Pero me puedes seguir, yo sí me estoy transmitiendo. Y en la próxima sí puedo poner el Tutti Frutti de Caselle.
Das ist kein Buch. This means that is not a book. So remember, use kein or keine before a noun.
¿Cómo están,
Now
gente?
let's use
¿Qué
kein
hacen?
and keine with the verb haben.
Aparte de
Haben
verme.
means to have. This is very common in daily German. For example, ich habe ein Buch. This means I have a book. Negative, ich habe kein Buch. This means I do not have a book. Another example, ich habe eine Tasche. This means I have a bag. Negative, ich habe keine Tasche. This means I do not have a bag. Now look at a masculine noun in the accusative. Ich habe einen Stift. This means I have a pen. Negative, ich habe keinen Stift. This means I do not have a pen. Here, Stift is masculine, so in the accusative, einen Stift becomes keinen Stift. Another example, ich habe einen Bruder. This means I have a brother. Negative, ich habe keinen Bruder. This means I do not have a brother. So remember, ein Buch becomes kein Buch. Eine Tasche becomes keine Tasche. Einen Stift becomes keinen Stift. This is very useful when you talk about things you do not have. Now let's understand the difference between nicht and kein. This is very important. Use nicht when you make a verb, an adjective, or a full idea negative. For example, ich komme nicht. This means I am not.
Bueno, como saben, Bueno, yo soy de Colombia, pero vivo en la costa y, y en el interior del país, como en Pereira, Cali, hubo un terremoto, hubo varios heridos, hubo muertos, pero aquí en la costa solamente se sintió un poco. Yo lo sentí, el temblor, pero estoy bien. O sea, no pasó mucho, solamente un temblor pequeño. Y, pero lo que es en Cali y Pereira sí pasó una tragedia.
Coming. Here we negate the verb idea. Another example, das Auto ist nicht teuer. This means the car is not expensive. Here we negate the adjective, expensive. And ich verstehe das nicht. This means I do not understand that. Here we negate the full idea. But use kein or keine when you make a noun negative. For example, ich habe kein Auto. This means I do not have a car. Auto is a noun. Another example, ich habe keine Zeit. This means I do not have time. Zeit is a noun. And das ist kein Problem. This means that is not a problem. Problem is a noun. So remember, nicht is for verbs, adjectives, and full ideas. Kein and keine are for nouns. For example, ich arbeite nicht. Ich habe keine Zeit. Das ist kein Buch. This is a very important step for building real German sentences. Next, we will continue with more useful sentence patterns for everyday A1 communication. So let's continue step by step. Great! Now let's practice kein and keine together. Listen first, then repeat slowly. Das ist ein Buch. That is a book. Das ist kein Buch. That is not a book. Das ist eine Tasche. That is a bag. Das ist keine Tasche. That is not a bag. Ich habe ein Auto. I have a car. Ich habe kein Auto. I do not have a car. Ich habe eine Wohnung. I have an apartment. Ich habe keine Wohnung. I do not have an apartment. Ich habe einen Stift. I have a pen. Ich habe keinen Stift. I do not have a pen. Ich habe einen Bruder. I have a brother. Ich habe keinen Bruder. I do not have a brother. Now compare ich komme nicht. I am not coming. Ich habe kein Auto. I do not have a car. Das Auto ist nicht teuer. The car is not expensive. Das ist kein Auto. That is not a car. Very good. Now remember the main idea. Use nicht to negate verbs, adjectives, and full ideas. Use kein and keine to negate nouns. For example, ich arbeite nicht. Ich habe keine Zeit. Das ist kein Buch.
Mucho más que un jabón. Pruébalo ahora mismo.
Mira cómo está mi piel de humectada.
Vean cómo limpia mi piel.
9 de cada 10 mujeres se cambiarían a Dove. ¿Qué esperas para probarlo?
Yo no dejo Dove por nada.
How do I get the EU Blue Card? The EU Blue Card is the most popular residence title for skilled workers from abroad who have a university degree and would like to work in Germany.
We will continue with more useful sentence patterns for everyday A1 communication. So let's continue step by step. Great. Now that we know how to use articles like der, die, das, ein, eine, and also negative articles like kein and keine, we can learn another very useful group of small words. Today, we will learn possessive articles. Possessive articles help us say my, your, his, her, our, your plural, and your formal. In German, we use words like mein, dein, sein, ihr, unser, euer, and ihr. For example, das ist mein Buch. This means that is my book. Another example, das ist deine Tasche. This means that is your bag. And das ist sein Auto. This means that is his car. These words are very useful because they help you talk about your things, your family, your home, and people around you. Today, we will learn them slowly, clearly, and with simple A1 examples. Let's start with mine and dein. Mine means my. For example, mein Vater. This means my father. Meine Mutter. This means my mother. Mein Buch. This means my book. Look carefully. With masculine nouns, we say mein Vater. With feminine nouns, we say meine Mutter. With neuter nouns, we say
Hola,
mein
hola
Buch.
Iram, ¿cómo vas? ¿Qué hacen? Chicos, los invito a que se suscriban a mi canal, para que me apoyen, para tener más suscriptores. Mi objetivo es llegar a los 1000 suscriptores. Tengo otros canales que es de uno es de videojuegos, tengo otro que es de mi perro, donde aparece todos los videos de él. Tengo otros canales, está en mi perfil. En mi perfil pueden ver los canales que tengo.
Now, let's look at dein. Dein means your, informal. For example, dein Vater. This means your father. Deine Mutter. This means your mother. Dein Buch. This means your book. Now, let's use simple sentences. Das ist mein Buch. This means that is my book. Das ist meine Tasche. This means that is my bag. And das ist sein Auto. This means that is your car. Das ist deine Wohnung. This means that is your apartment. So remember, mine means my. Dein means your, informal. And the ending changes with the noun. Now let's look at sein and ihr. Sein means his. We use sein when the owner is masculine or neuter. For example, Omar hat ein Auto. This means Omar has a car. We can say, das ist sein Auto. This means that is his car. Another example, das ist sein Vater. This means that is his father. And das ist seine Mutter. This means that is his mother. Now look at ihr. Ihr means her. We use ihr when the owner is feminine. For example, Anna hat eine Tasche. This means Anna has a bag. We can say, das ist ihre Tasche. This means that is her bag. Another example, das ist ihr Vater. This means that is her father. And das ist ihre Mutter. This means that is her mother. So remember, sein means his. Ihr means her. The owner decides which possessive article we choose, but the noun decides the ending. Now let's continue with unser and euer. Unser means our. For example, unser Lehrer. This
Rera,
means our teacher.
lera,
Unsere Lehrerin. This
rerelin,
means our female teacher.
lerelin,
Unser Haus.
unser
This
Haus.
means our house. Now let's use sentences. Das ist unser Haus. This means that is our house. Das ist unsere Wohnung. This means that is our apartment. Das ist unser Auto. This means that is our car. Now look at euer. Euer means your when speaking to more than one person informally. For example, euer.
Bueno, gente, creo que lo voy a dejar hasta aquí. Pero en la noche hago más tiempo. No, mentira, voy a seguir. Iba a transmitir en otra... Iba a transmitir en otra parte, pero... ya no.
Vater. This means your father, plural informal. Eure Mutter. This means your mother, plural informal. Euer Haus. This means your house, plural informal. Be careful. With feminine nouns, euer often becomes eure. For example, eure Tasche. This means your bag, plural informal. And eure Wohnung. This means your apartment, plural informal. So remember, unser means our. Euer means your for more than one person informally. Great. Now let's look at formal possession. The formal word is ihr. Ihr means your, formal. We use it when we speak politely to one person or to more than one person. For example, ihr Name. This means your name, formal. Ihre Adresse. This means your address, formal. Ihr Auto. This means your car. Notice, ihr starts with a capital letter when it means formal your. Now let's practice all possessive articles together. Mein Buch,
Mein Buch,
my book.
dein Buch,
Dein Buch, your book,
sein
informal.
Buch,
Sein Buch, his book.
ihr
Ihr
Buch,
her book. Unser Buch,
unser Buch,
our book. Euer Buch,
euer Buch,
your book, plural, informal. And
ihr
ihr
Buch,
your book, formal. Now with feminine nouns, meine Tasche,
meine
my
Tasche,
bag. Deine Tasche,
deine
your
Tasche,
bag, informal.
deine
Seine Tasche,
Tasche,
his bag. Ihre
ihre
Tasche,
Tasche,
her bag. Unsere
unsere
Tasche,
Tasche,
our bag. Eure
eure
Tasche,
Tasche,
your bag, plural, informal. And ihre Tasche,
ihre
your bag, formal. Very good. Now remember the main idea. Possessive articles show who something belongs to. The most important forms are mein, dein, sein, ihr, unser, euer, and ihr. At A1 level, learn them in simple phrases. Mein Buch, my book. Deine Tasche, your bag. Sein Auto, his car. Ihre Wohnung, her apartment. Unser Haus, our house. Eure Schule, your school. And Ihr Name, your name. Next, we will continue with more useful everyday sentences using these possessive articles. So let's continue step by step. Great! Now that we can talk about things, people, and simple actions, we can learn how to talk about what we like. Today we will learn 3 very useful words: mögen, gern, and lieber. These words help you say, I like doing something, and I prefer. For example, ich mag Kaffee. This means I like coffee. Another example, ich esse gern Pizza. This means I like eating pizza. And ich trinke lieber Tee. This means I prefer drinking tea. These sentences are very useful in daily German because we often talk about food, drinks, hobbies, music, and activities. Today, we will learn the difference between ich mag, ich esse gern, and ich liebe. Do not worry, we will keep it simple, clear, and very practical for A1 conversations. Let's start with mögen. Mögen means to like, but in simple A1 German, we often use the form ich mag. Ich mag means I like. For example, ich mag Kaffee. This means I like coffee. Another example, ich mag Musik. This means I like music. And ich mag Deutsch. This means I like German. Now let's look at more forms. For example, du magst Tee. This means
La gente,
you like tea.
¿cómo van?
Mag means he likes. For example, mag Fußball. This means
mag
he
Fußball.
likes football. Sie mag means she likes. For example, sie mag Schokolade. This
Carla,
means she
Carla,
likes chocolate.
Inés,
So remember, ich mag
was,
Kaffee. I like coffee. Du magst Tee. You like tea. Mag Fußball. He likes football. Sie mag Schokolade. She likes chocolate. With
Pide la tarjeta de crédito NU y sienta la tranquilidad de recibir notificaciones en tiempo real de cada uno de tus movimientos. Aplicado y pide.
often talk about things, people, food, drinks, or topics. Now let's learn gern. Gern means gladly or with pleasure, but in English we often translate it as like to. So when we say ich esse gern Pizza, we mean I like eating pizza. Look
estoy viendo un
carefully.
video de YouTube,
With
estoy
gern,
aprendiendo
we
alemán,
usually use a verb. For example,
nivel A1.
ich esse gern Pizza. This means
Ich
I
esse
like
gern
eating
Pizza, ich
pizza.
trinke
The
gern
verb
Kaffee.
is esse. Another example, ich trinke gern Kaffee. This means I like drinking coffee. The verb is trinke. Another example, ich lerne gern Deutsch. This means I like learning German. And ich spiele gern Fußball. This means I like playing football. So remember, ich mag Kaffee. I like coffee. But ich trinke gern Kaffee. I like drinking coffee. Mögen is often used with nouns. Gern is often used with actions. At A1 level, this is a very useful difference. Now let's learn liebe. This means I like learning German. And ich spiele gern Fußball. This means I like playing football. So remember, ball. Sie mag Schokolade. She likes chocolate. Example, ich trinke lieber Tee. This means I prefer drinking tea. Maybe there are two choices, coffee or tea, and you choose tea. So you say, ich trinke lieber Tee. Another example, ich esse lieber Reis. This
Hola.
means I prefer eating
Suscríbete.
rice. And ich lerne lieber Deutsch. This means I prefer learning German. Now let's compare. Ich trinke gern Kaffee. This means I like drinking coffee. But ich trinke lieber Tee. This means I prefer drinking tea. Another comparison. Ich esse gern Pizza. This means I like eating pizza. But ich esse lieber Pasta. This means I prefer eating pasta. So remember, gern means you like doing something. Liebe means you prefer doing something. This is very useful when you choose between two things. Great! Now let's practice mögen, gern, and liebe together. Listen first, then repeat slowly. Ich mag Kaffee. I like coffee. Du magst Tee. You like tea. Mag Fußball. He likes football. Sie mag Schokolade. She likes chocolate. Now with gern. Ich esse gern Pizza. I like eating pizza. Ich trinke gern Kaffee. I like drinking coffee. Ich lerne gern Deutsch. I like learning German. Ich spiele gern Fußball. I like playing football. Now with Liebe. Ich trinke lieber Tee. I prefer drinking tea. Ich esse lieber Reis. I prefer eating rice. Ich lerne lieber Deutsch. I prefer learning German. Very good. Now remember the main idea. Use mögen when you like a thing or a topic. For example, ich mag Kaffee. Use gern when you like doing an action. For example, ich trinke gern Kaffee. Use lieber when you prefer something. For example, ich trinke lieber Tee. Now you can talk about likes, activities, food, drinks, and preferences in simple German. Next, we will continue with more useful everyday expressions for A1 conversations. So let's continue step by step. Great! Now that we can talk about likes, preferences, things, and simple actions, we can learn a very useful phrase for everyday German. Today we will learn es gibt. Es gibt means there is or there are. This phrase is very common in German. We use it when we want to say that something exists or that something is available in a place. For example, es gibt einen Park. This means there is a park. Another example, es gibt viele Bücher. This means there are many books. And es gibt Kaffee. This means there is coffee. Today, we will also learn 3 very useful connectors, und, aber, and oder. Und means and, aber means but, and oder means or. These small words help you connect simple German ideas. For example, es gibt Kaffee und Tee. This means there is coffee and tea. Es gibt Brot, aber keine Milch. This means there is bread, but no milk. And möchtest du Kaffee oder Tee? This means, would you like coffee or tea? So today we will learn es gibt and simple connectors slowly, clearly, and with useful A1 examples. Let's start with the phrase es gibt. In German, es gibt is not changed in simple A1 sentences. We can use it for one thing or for many things. For example, es gibt einen Tisch. This means there is a table. And es gibt zwei Stühle. This means there are two chairs. Look carefully. In English, we say there is or there are. But in German, we can use es gibt for both. Another example. Es gibt ein Buch. This means there is a book. And es gibt viele Bücher. This means there are many books. Now let's use places. In der Stadt gibt es einen Bahnhof. This means in the city there is a train station. Another example. In der Schule gibt es viele Schüler. This means at school there are many students. So remember, es gibt means there is or there are. It is one of the most useful phrases for describing places and situations. Next, let's learn the first connector, und. Und means and. We use und when we connect two things, two people, or two ideas. For example, es gibt Kaffee und Tee. This means there is coffee and tea. Another example, es gibt Brot und Käse. This means there is bread and cheese. Now with people. Oma und Anna lernen Deutsch. This means Omar and Anna are learning German. Now with two actions. Ich lese und schreibe. This means I read and write. And ich esse Pizza und trinke Wasser. This means I eat pizza and drink water. So remember, und means and. It helps you connect simple ideas. It is very easy and very useful. You can say Kaffee und Tee, coffee and tea, Brot und Käse, bread and cheese, lesen und schreiben, read and write. At A1 level, und helps you make longer but still simple sentences. Now let's learn aber. Aber means but. We use aber when we connect two ideas with a contrast. For example, der Kaffee ist gut, aber teuer. This means the coffee is good but expensive. Another example, die Wohnung ist klein, aber schön. This means the apartment is small but beautiful. Now let's use es gibt with aber. Es gibt Brot, aber keine Milch. This means there is bread but no milk. And es gibt Tee, aber keinen Kaffee. This means there is tea but
Bueno,
no
nos vemos,
coffee.
gente.
And ich mag Pizza, aber ich esse lieber Reis. This means